It's a good thing you sat down when you did. I was preparing to say something, and
were you going to say this? Last time. Sorry. That's the only time, I promise.
Oh my God, guys! If you weren't here last week, Jacob decided to fiddle with a zip tie last week, and we were just talking off air. Both of us typically have something that we fidget with. I usually have like a Allen wrench or something, or just something to fidget while we're talking. Yeah.
If you're doing an audio medium, probably not a zip tie.
No, zip ties are awful in the audio medium, and we did get feedback. So if those of you that provided feedback, thank you. But yeah, welcome on in, guys. It is Tuesday night. My name is Seth Bidoff. That's Jacob Terrell. We, of course, are United Front, and we have identified the world's best pyramid scheme. Jacob and I were just talking about this, and we're debating on the flavors and things, and because Jacob saw me eating some Girl Scout cookies, and yeah, world's biggest pyramid scheme. So, which I can't say I disagree with. And if you had to pick, for me, it's Thin Mints. That's my favorite. If you got a favorite, I'd love to hear it. And I mean, honestly, Jacob, I don't think there is a better pyramid scheme than this.
Yeah, no, definitely not. Thin Mints are probably the best. I have a screaming kid in the back, so I apologize. I will deal with that shortly. And no comment to Justin. And then a close second would be Samoa's. And then I'm going to mute real quick because I think Galley's going to pop some butts.
No worries. Yeah, so throw your favorites over in the chat. Justin, we don't want to ruffle any feathers with that one, because there are some folks that do.
He's not wrong, but he's not right.
Yeah,
there's aspects of it that there are definitely people that use it as that. I'll put it that way. But then there are people that don't. So, Christina,
very true. There's Christina.
Voila.
Hey guys,
how are you?
I'm good. I'm sorry I'm late.
No worries. We were just discussing the use of zip ties and Girl Scout cookies.
Not at the same time. Not at the same time. Putting those two things together, Seth, could be problematic. So not separate those two things, please.
Yeah, Jake and I were talking before the show. I was like, the Girl Scout cookies happen to be set at the past 2 weekends at the Albertsons right up the street. And gone are the days where you have to have cash. You have to order them ahead of time, right? You can walk up, hand them your debit card, and they'll hand you boxes and boxes of Girl Scout cookies. So my son twisted my arm very, very hard. I have to admit.
I doubt that.
And
so, like, hold on, son, hold on. We got to buy some Girl Scout cookies. And he was like, "No, Dad, those will rot your teeth." And you were like, "Get over here."
Yeah. So we ended up with some Girl Scout cookies. Christina, if you had to pick, what's your favorite?
Thin Mints out of the freezer.
There you go. That's the only way to eat them.
Yeah. But I do like Do-si-dos. I'm there with Bolty with the Do-si-dos too.
Do they even still have Do-si-dos? I thought they did away with them.
If they did, that's a sad story.
Man, yeah, I don't know. They didn't have any when we bought them the other day. So, Desert Fire says pyramid scheme USL HQ.
That's good. That's good. That's a good comment.
New kit, who dis? Jacob obviously repping the new kit. Picked up at the Black and Yellow Bash on Friday.
Did you get it personalized?
I did. Care to guess who?
Maples.
We'll talk about Maples later. I have some thoughts on Maples.
Gosh, who am I gonna guess? Shakes. No, it wouldn't be Shakes.
If they had the keeper kit for sale,
Gloucester. It's Gloucester.
Seth.
Um,
By the way, if they had the keeper kit for sale, I would have gotten a keeper kit in a Shakes with Shakes' name, because those keeper kits are
They look
pretty.
cool.
All three of them. There was one that Ryko had that was red that said Taos. That I was like, ooh, I like this. I like this a lot.
I don't know. If I had to guess, I'm gonna say you went with the captain for once.
El Capitan.
Yeah.
Good call. Good call.
There we go. There we go. Yeah, I mean that obviously got announced last week. Those are now called peanut butter sandwich. Okay, I say we got some of the peanut butter sandwiches. But yeah, there. I
Why
like the
Dosey-Dos? Why change it from Dosey? Oh my gosh! Whatever. We're not gonna go there.
Alan Maples would be the best Girl Scout cookie.
A maple cookie would be delicious.
That it would. Can't disagree with that. Don't want Chris Hansen showing up with a zip tie and cookie conversation. Yeah, that we would not. So, I mean, yeah, let's jump right into it. Obviously, Black and Yellow Bash on Friday night. Jacob is at the Black and Yellow Bash. You can see him sporting new kit. My new kit has been ordered. It's on its way. I did not get it customized. And
I've decided that I will forever now get customized kits for a couple of reasons. One, I like Maples is right there. Like it's, I'm missing a kit. I took Schmidt down because I wore it to the bash. So I missed that one. Bailey Green. Okay.
Okay.
Never mind. Not going to touch that. Not going to touch that.
This is an interesting
that is
podcast tonight.
Now, I'm pretty sure because Seth shared that on the screen there, that the stream is going to get taken down. So, anyways, we'll talk about Zico later too, though. Christina sent a pretty awesome YouTube video that Zico put up, so we'll mention that here in a little bit. But yeah, I will forever get a personalized kit, especially because they do get a small portion of the charge that we incur for getting a personalized kit. The players do get a small portion of that.
Oh, I didn't know that.
So yeah, and then we're at the bash and they personalized it at the bash. And last year I went and got one as well. That's the Maples one right there. And when we were there last year, I asked the guy that was doing the pressing. I said, "Hey, who's been the most requested player?" And last
Bruce.
year it was by far Bruce.
Yeah.
They said they would get 5 Bruces for every one other one. And so with Bruce gone, I was very curious who this year would be.
Bruce.
And you can you can
Coach
do
Bruce.
yeah. I almost did put that. You could put like your name on it, and with like your personalized number. But I have a feeling that if you wanted a player's name of the past, they wouldn't let you because of marketing stuff and likeness and whatnot. So, so I thought for sure it'd be Nava, but it wasn't Nava. Well, they said that it was a lot closer this year. There wasn't like a runaway. So they said Nava had quite a few, and Keller had quite a few.
Okay.
And then there was another name. Hurst, I think, was another name that they mentioned. And so so it was a little more spread out this year than last year. And I like that. I mean, Bruce probably made quite a decent amount of money from jersey sales last year because he was so popular, but now he's kind of spreading the wealth since he's not here.
Makes sense. Yeah. And it's good to see Kip Keller and Nava getting nods there. Obviously guys who, Nava, obviously resonates with New Mexicans, and then Kip Keller, had a huge impact on the season last year. So happy to see guys, getting some love from the fans. And Jacob, you were sharing some photos from the Black and Yellow Bash. A couple of announcements that got leaked a little bit early over there. Didn't come out until this week. And the club certainly took their time.
Yeah, they always kind of announced, like among last year, they announced it, and then they announced it there, and then I don't think they announced it on socials until maybe Monday again. So yeah, the biggest one we had found out for those of people that went to the supporter summit, there was a tease of a player coming from Norway that had MLS and international team experience. Andrew Bolte found out before the bash, but would not share until Transfer Market actually broke the news. There was a player on the Transfer Market page for United before he was announced, which I think is a first because Transfer Market's usually the last to the party. Mm-hmm. And so we knew that one was coming. When we get to the bash, there's the hallway to one of the bathrooms has the whole roster on it. I sent those to you guys. There was 4 blank roster spots there, and so I assumed 3 of them would be academy players, and we were right. Kyle Hoffman, of course, who we kind of expected. Grady Gilchrist, as Justin said. And then there was a goalkeeper, but the sound system in there was really bad. And so it was I think it was Diego Ocon Lopez is who I believe it was. There's another one, Frank Barella, but I'm pretty sure it was Diego that was announced. And so got 3 academy kids. And then that's a great question, Andrew. I don't think they were on the little card that we could choose, if I remember correctly. I don't think they were there, so probably not. Because if you do personalize, they fill out a little paper, but if you do a player, then there's a list of players, and you just mark which one and hand it to the people when they do it. And then, does anybody want to try Nico's last name? Because I meant to prep for it.
Heineken.
Oh, boy.
And I did not.
Heineken?
Is that what you said?
Yeah. Yeah, I did not hear it pronounced anywhere, so I have no clue.
Hamelanian is how I'm going to go with it. So Nico comes over from Norway. He played he played for a Norwegian team. Then he also was a Finnish international. He's got dual citizenship to Finland and the United States. He has played. Where did his? Oh, I had it up, and then now it's gone. Bear with me 1 second. He has played in Major League Soccer, the Scottish Premiership. He actually has made appearances in Champions League qualifying and Europa League. And so, yeah, he's kind of been all over the place. 29 years old. He's got a little bit of height, not too much, but he plays left back. And from what I understand, it's exclusively left back, which is Gloucester's position. So it's tough to see what the picture is there, because Gloucester, as long as he's healthy, since he's been with us, has been our left back. If he's healthy, he is our left back. So I don't know if this is competition or depth or Hamalainen. Sorry. Thank you, Brandon. That was had a question mark, so maybe. Okay. Anyways, I appreciate everybody trying to help me out over there, and I feel like I got it fairly close. And so, yeah, I think he's a good depth piece. I'm not sure if he's more than that at 29 years old, but the team was excited about him. So we will see. I did see Astorga at the bash. He did not get announced, but he was present. And then found out on Saturday, I saw a guy with Astorga, did some internet sleuthing, found out that there was a center back that was over here. He played as redacted. He actually scored one of the goals on Saturday in the preseason. His name is Tyler Blackett. He's English. Sorry. I don't have his stats pulled over. He's listed at 6'2", but I feel like he was taller than me, and I'm 6'2". And so, unless I've shrunk, I don't know. But I'm hoping.
Harry.
Go ahead, Christina.
Harry in the chat. Just saying hi.
Oh, hi, Harry. So he's spent time with Manchester United. He is 31 though, so he is even older than Nico is. But spent time overseas. He's a center back, and he's listed as a left back on Transfer Market, but who knows? He's got dual citizenship to England and the Barbados. And so he's a guy that I think he played a little bit with FC Cincinnati, and then has bounced around Man United U18, U21, Blackpool, Man United U21, Birmingham, not Birmingham Legion, the other Birmingham, the first team with Man United, Celtic, Reading, Nottingham Forest, Cincinnati, and Rotherham was the last club he was with. And so bounced around kind of all over the place. He has played in America a little bit though. So hopefully I'm hoping that we sign him. Apparently, according to Andrew, he looked really good. And so fingers crossed, because we need some depth there. Malik Howell did not make an appearance in the preseason match, which is a little nerve-wracking.
He
Did Keller
was
play this weekend?
he was
Keller
injured
did.
Okay.
in El Paso, right? He took a knock.
He was a late scratch in El Paso, and Hoffman stepped in for him in the starting lineup. So I do think
He's nursing something.
Picked something up there. Keller did make his return and played most of the first match. Zalala made his return, which is good.
Finally.
Still no Jafal, but Zalala being out there was a pleasant sign. Everything else was pretty standard. I don't know if Nava. No, I think he did get a couple minutes. I went through there and kind of looked and sleuthed through those lineups just to make sure I didn't miss anybody or nobody else was missing. And so I feel like we're getting healthier going into the regular season. Still do need some depth, and hopefully Tyler and Nico provide some of that. And I'm really hoping Astorga makes it. I said hello to him. I didn't ask for any info or anything like that. I said, hey, glad to see you over here. Wish you had a kid on and we're sitting at one of the tables, because it was when they were doing all the autographs. But I'm glad you're here. I take that as a good sign. And he said, yeah, I'm working on it. And that was about it. So good sign there. Happy to have that. Even with those two, though, we're only at 22 players, which is probably about what we're going to roll in with to the season with, would be my guess. And then after a couple weeks, I'm sure they're assessing kind of what they think we need, and they'll kind of go from there. But no, it was a good weekend. The bash was fun. And I didn't go to the preseason matches. I was just sleuthing on X for everything, but it does seem like we're getting a little healthier and moving into a good spot, which is good because we play this weekend, hopefully. Knock on wood.
In Cali. It was sold out, right? The black and yellow bash?
It was, yes.
So then I'd assume a good showing, a nice crowd.
Yeah, it's always packed in there. We didn't stay for the whole thing. We stayed for the announcements and all that, and then they put the teams at the tables, and you can go through and get autographs. I did that last year because I bought one of the kits, and I had everybody sign it so we could give it away. But I did not do that with this kit. Something was telling me not to, and that something was probably because there's a new away kit coming, and I have a feeling I might like it better. And that's just a hunch, partly because I don't know how. We haven't talked about it. I'm not sure how I'm feeling about this kit. We haven't talked about it on the pod anyways. So, Christina, how are you feeling about the murals kit?
When I first saw it, I was kind of like, meh. But I feel like the photos of the players wearing them were just more vibrant. and then I was able to kind of see better that it looked like more like a
Brush
stroke.
Yeah.
And then I was like, okay, I'm buying into it. So, and I also like I like just the traditional Meow Wolf as opposed to the crazy creature Meow Wolf. Is that what it was? Creatures?
No, Glitch. It was called the Glitch Kid. And it has like, there was like an eyeball, and then there was just some random designs and stuff like that.
Yeah. So it's grown on me. I don't know if I will buy it. I guess I'm waiting till I'm in person. And might make an impulsive buy in the stadium.
Well, I would tell you right now, this was an impulsive buy. We had decided that we weren't going to get one. And then as we were walking out, there was like no line. And so I was like, yeah, why not? I mean, and we're here. Well, why not? And then I think Seymour had just given his speech, and I was riled up and
all the
ready to go. So I was just like, you know what? We're getting it. I'm getting Seymour. I asked Allie, actually, I was like, who should I get? Because I was like, I don't know. She was like, she's like, I think she said Hurst or Seymour. And I said, nah, you're right. I think I got to go with Seymour. He's just a dog anyways. And I love his personality. And then the fact that he's the longest tenured player now, had to do it. Because just like I think it was Andrew that said when he buys a kit and gets it personalized, that player leaves. Case in point for me, Talon Maples. And so Seymour, I felt like, you know what? He's not going anywhere. If he goes anywhere, I think he'll retire. So I'm going to get that one. But Seth, what are your thoughts? You've been pretty, like, Christina kind of voiced it, and then I voiced it, but I don't know if I know anything about your thoughts on it.
Yeah, I like it. I like the new kit. It's definitely a bit different from other things that we've done. I do like the more classic Meow Wolf logo. So yeah, I was excited for it. I did go and pre-order it as soon as it was available online. However, the pre-orders, according to the shop, will not ship for 6 to 7 weeks.
Boo,
So, and along the same, there's another conversation regarding kits and manufacturers that happened over the weekend over on social media. I reached out to someone at the club, and let me just put it this way: the club is not happy about that. The club is not happy about the fact that it's going to take 6 to 7 weeks for the pre-orders to show up. So, I mean, I will be very anxiously waiting to get my hands on it for another 5 to 6 weeks at this point.
2 months, basically.
Yeah, which is ridiculous. But it's not of the club's doing. There's not much that they can do about it. It's just kind of the spot that they're in. And I like the kit. I do. I know some people aren't fans of it. I know some people are. It's definitely not our worst kit by any stretch of the imagination. I think that I'm still anxiously waiting a collared kit, but I do like this one. I do think it's, it is different from what we've done before. And from what it sounds like, Puma, well, this is actually confirmed. Our deal with Puma is up at the end of this year. So the club is shopping, and there has been a rumor that Charlie has been signed for the new kit maker. I have confirmation this is not confirmed. There is no deal.
Still shopping around.
The club is still shopping for kit makers for 2027. Charlie has been contacted. Puma's been contacted for a renewal, and they're still looking at other manufacturers as well. So I know there's conversation about Charlie already being a done deal for next year. It is not a done deal. And if someone knows more than my source, I would love to know who that person is.
Who does do we know who does Oakland use Charlie?
I believe they do. No,
yeah,
I think it's Hummel. I think it's Hummel.
Okay.
I was looking at Hummel.
And then do teams actually use
Oakland is Charlie.
Is it Charlie?
Okay.
Okay.
Charlie also did North Carolina RIP. They did San Antonio, Pittsburgh, Rowdies, and Monterey. So.
And what about Olive and York? Do they?
Olive and York is custom. That's not.
Yeah, they don't do teams.
Okay,
they
don't
are
do
like
teams.
a
Bummer. Because I always like their stuff.
Speaking of Olive and York, go buy your 9 by the Numbers kit.
I think it's too late. I think it was only on sale for 2 weeks. Is it? Okay.
Yeah, it's still up.
I thought it was the last chance the other day. Nope. So
it's up there right now.
So I tell you, I own the kit. Obviously, I like it. It looks good. Don't get me wrong. It does look good. But when you have teams putting out these beauties, where are we here?
I feel like I've seen Hummel kits and they were not great.
Pittsburgh has my favorite kits, and they are Hummel kits. Hummel, I believe is how you pronounce it.
Olive and York is it. There we go. Yeah.
This right here. This is a kit. So this is their away kit. I like it because it's unique. It has all the neighborhoods in Pittsburgh. Those are all the neighborhoods there. Mm-hmm. And then if you go,
so like the year 1 flag.
Yes, but on a kit.
Yeah.
And then I don't know if I'd ever buy this kit, but that's their third kit with one of the bridges there. It's wild. Don't get me wrong. As a third kit though, I like it. And then their home kit.
That makes me think of like the opening to Full House, but with like the 80s TV colors.
And then their home kit's pretty mild, but I do like the little like Pittsburgh Steeler nod with the little diamonds here and throughout. There were so many teams that did like localized stuff. Exactly. There's so many teams that did like localized cool things that are like inspired by where they're coming from. Like Lexington. Lexington's another awesome one. Lexington obviously is home of the Kentucky Derby and horse racing and all that. And so their kits,
Oregon Trail.
Where are we at here? Share screen.
I am glad that I was worried that our kits were just going to be a black and yellow version of Lou City. So I'm glad it's not that.
So these are Lexingtons. And that Argyle, cool. Like a jockey. Awesome. And then if you look at their primary one, see the horses? Like that to me is awesome because it's local, it's unique, it's got like local ties to the club instead of something like this, which I heard a lot of people saying, Dortmund-esque. We've gotten a Dortmund kit in the past. The Electric Playhouse was a Dortmund keeper kit, basically. Batteries is pretty cool. It's got a map of stuff, which the map one is kind of overdone in my opinion, but it still would be better than this in my opinion. Even if you were going to do something like this, you could still like New Mexicanize it. I don't know how to pronounce that. With like some red accents or something in there. But it's still a nice kit. It's just, I think it's probably my fourth or fifth favorite kit, fourth or fifth favorite team. I think there's 4 or 5 other teams that put kits that I like better out this year, which is not normally the case. That being said, if the away kit is collared and has something remotely unique, I will absolutely love it.
You want to say unique kit? Holy crap! Look at this. I gotta share this.
Yeah, hot air. I like the idea of Justin's hot air balloon on it. That's cool.
I'm going down a rabbit hole on Olive and York now.
Oh no! That's
See, they've got cool stuff.
I don't even know what's happening there.
El Deuterino. It's the Lebowski FC.
Wow. Interesting. Yeah, that is a rabbit hole. I will lose you for the rest of the show if you continue down that rabbit hole.
It's got a collar on it.
Yes, Andrew here. I have been waiting for that ever since the first Indigenous Peoples Night. I have been waiting for an Indigenous People kit, and I'm praying that happens at some point this year, either this year or next year for that theme night, because that would be incredible. So all in all, not a bad kit, just could have done more. After 3 years, you went from polka dots to stripes.
I suspect they're limited by Puma.
They for sure are. And you see that with the Puma kits. Like, none of those kits that I showed you that I really liked are Puma kits. The
Puma kits are all very plain.
Yeah, they're all kind of, I mean, we get a little bit of uniqueness. You know, the artist kit with the paint splatter was fairly unique. But I don't know. It just yeah, Harry is roasting you for wearing it. United gear.
Harry, here's a
don't you have a United sticker or something you can put over that there, Seth?
I don't think he does. I don't
hey,
think
he needs one of those pins you got at the Black and Yellow Bash.
Yeah, those pins were pretty cool. The pins were pretty cool. Did I send you a picture, or did you see the post?
I saw the post, and I saw that they're going to have more pins throughout the year.
I'm excited about that. I've started putting pins on my laptop backpack for work, and so I was like, oh, that's cool. And then Allie was like, you can't open this. This is a collective pin. And I'm like, but I want to put it on my backpack. And so right now it's still closed. I haven't opened it yet.
I would totally open it. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'm going to have to. So, but yeah, it was a good weekend for sure. And then today, we've kind of talked about it already, but we get the announcement that there will be an away kit that is announced presumably sometime this week. And your first chance will be to get it at the away kit reveal party. Or was it a reveal party? Are we not getting it till Saturday? Watch party.
Watch party, yeah.
And so we hopefully we'll see that this week, and then you can buy it at the watch party on Saturday when we play Oakland. I might be in town, so I might be going to that. We have Saturday is crazy though. So we have a funeral at 9 at the church, a wedding at 1 at the church, and then I'm hoping to drive to Albuquerque because I'm hoping that our Fort Sumner boys and girls are going to be playing for a state basketball championship that day. And so if they are, I will be driving up there for that. And then the boys play at 6, which means it'll end at 8. And then I might pop over to the watch party, depending on who all goes with me. If it's just me, I will probably do that. If it's the family, I don't know if we'll go to a watch party or not. Shout out Roswell.
That's fun. I used to have this sticker that was like, take me to a game, and it was the UFO beaming up a player. I could see a little spin on that. Take me to the lab.
I don't think they'll get too crazy with it. And I like the little details. I love what Vegas did. Vegas's away kit is super clean. Josh will make fun of me because it's a white kit, and he thinks I have a thing for white kits. But their release video was very like old school Vegas vibes, and was just really cool. And so yeah, this was just a little bit of a. I do want to point out though that when we started in 2019, kit release videos were not a thing.
No,
we started that crap, and now every single team in the league does it. Well, not every single team. I don't think my Miami FC did.
Miami.
Yeah,
I saw
and
that.
So I don't think they did. I don't think a couple others. I don't think Brooklyn did, but yeah. So I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, so Black and Yellow Bash kits announced. We got Nico. Man, week 1 is in the books. We mentioned Will briefly. Will Seymour was announced as captain by team vote. So congrats to Will. I mean, obviously he was one. I think he was one of many names that we threw out as far as who could potentially be captain this year.
Mhm.
Good to see him get it. I think he deserves it. Happy for him. As you mentioned, now longest tenured player at this now currently. So,
I wonder if so. This was picked by the players, like you said, and so I'm curious how much Will plays, and so how many. Like, will he actually lead the team in matches where he wears the armband, or will one of the co-captains wear it more often just because they play more? I'm curious to see what happens there, because the co-captains were also announced. Those were Valentin Noel, not a name that we threw out there, I don't think, or not very much anyways. Usman Jabang, which was a name we threw out there, and then Greg Hurst, which was also a name that we threw out there. Greg has worn the captain's armband in the past, and so that one is not a surprise, as has Will Seymour, of course. I think I think Noel is probably going to be the leader of that group as far as playing time, but does that mean he gets the captain's armband more than anybody else? We'll have to see. I think definitely with our current situation, Seymour is probably going to be playing, to start with at least, quite a bit, whether it's center back or out there on the right.
Yeah, I mean, I think Will sees plenty of time. He may not be a 90-minute a week guy anymore.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think you see him for the vast majority of the season, and if he does sub off, then you will see one of the co-captains or vice captains take the armband. But yeah, I think for the most part you'll see Will out there, barring injury, because he's been a workhorse.
Yeah, no, he's a beast for sure. And part of what makes him special as far as like playing time is he's so versatile, right? Like, he can play center back, he can play right back, he can play defensive mid. He probably can play out there on the left if Gloucester and Nico are unavailable. And so, hell, you could put him up at a 10, and I think he'd perform. And so, he will be out there, if only because he can play multiple positions.
Yeah. I said I wouldn't expect him to really take too much time off. Obviously, with the way the schedule is this year, especially with the unknown right now of Open Cup and potential strike and things like that, I think you'll see plenty of opportunities for Will to have some rest that we may not have necessarily seen in the past. So, yeah, I'm not worried about it. I think he's going to be fine. Not that we'd be worried about vice captains taking the armband anyway, but yeah, no, I think you see Will 75-80% of the matches. So, not too concerned about that at all. But
speaking of the work stoppage, that is kind of a question mark right now. We did have soccer in week 1, but we did see a protest. Well, we didn't really see a protest. Every single match started with the players kicking off by tapping the ball, and then all 22 field players stood silently with their arms behind their back in a show of solidarity and to protest the lack of a CBA. We've been hearing, or Seth has been hearing over on X, that was the plan going into this week, and then this coming, or that was the plan going into last week, and then this week a strike could happen. So far, it's just Tuesday, but nothing has been announced. There is a match tomorrow night. Hartford plays Loudoun, I believe, and so there is a match tomorrow night that is scheduled to be underway. So does that match get played and we wait till Saturday to strike, or do they start tomorrow? Who knows at this point? And so chances of a work stoppage, Seth, percentage wise.
I still think we're looking at, like a chance of a stoppage. I would say 75%. I mean, there's been no movement whatsoever from the Players Association, from the league. We've stopped seeing updates from the league over on the website, which, by the way, the league email that went out last week, the union busting email, like what the what the fuck?
Yeah.
Pardon my French, but like
that's
the timing of that and the way that they're handling it, like I think at this point both sides are so entrenched, and I don't think you see. I'm honestly amazed the strike hasn't been called at this point, unless there's been significant movement.
Yeah,
behind the scenes,
the players still continue to put stuff out. Right? They shared an article that Jeff Ruder did for The Guardian, and so they're still putting out some content. We're not gonna know if they're. I don't think the Players Association is going to put out that there's been headway made.
No,
I don't think the USL is. So whenever this happens, it will definitely be like a out of nowhere, the deal is done, we're moving on type of thing, which gives me hope still. But I just looked; they actually play Hartford. Sorry, it's Birmingham and Hartford, and they play at 10 a.m.
On a Wednesday.
Yeah.
So
this happened a couple times last season too.
That's noon, so weird.
A noon kickoff on the East Coast on a Wednesday during school. I mean, it's in Birmingham, so they don't draw really anyways, so it doesn't really matter. Or at least it doesn't feel like they draw just because they have such a giant stadium and it's always like empty. But that makes me that midweek match kind of throws me off as far as like, okay, what does the rest of this week look like? Because if that game gets played, I'm optimistic that the rest of the week gets played at least, just with another protest. Maybe it's a 5-minute protest. Could you imagine? That they couldn't ignore that. I say ignore because if you didn't watch any of the matches, they kicked off, the players stood there, and then cameras cut to the fans, the bench, the sky, anything that they could,
everywhere but the players.
Yeah, not to show the players. And so
and the broadcasts were silent. Yeah,
they weren't silent, but
there's a delay. They didn't say what was going on. And again, that's probably at the direction of the league and the broadcast and all of that. So, like, I understand it. And when you have a guy like Mike Watts not commenting, but again, Mike Watts is the voice of the league. Mike did the Friday night game.
Oh, okay.
Mike Watts did the Friday night game. So
I didn't see, so I couldn't go back and watch the beginning of the CBS matches.
Yeah.
But, that one was on ESPN Plus actually, so I could go back and rewatch that one. I didn't watch it. Andrew said Sacramento showed the players.
We have a noon game too. Sorry.
Apparently,
there's a squirrel.
And so, yeah, I just don't. I don't know what's going to happen. But for our purposes, we will talk about some week 1 matches that we watched because there was soccer action. And we will plan as if we do get to watch United play on Saturday. And we will talk about Oakland and kind of preview that. Sacramento was the one on Golazo. So that's why I didn't see that one because I couldn't go back and rewatch the beginning of it. So that makes sense. I don't know. It's a weird situation. I think I felt it at the bash. Like I was kind of like not as pumped as I normally am. I think because of what's going on, and it's kind of like I've already been pretty vocal about like I think both sides probably need to pull their heads out. And I'm not just 100% pro player here. In fact, last week alone, I went back and forth. Like I sent you that USL link and said I thought it was pretty fair. I put that out on Facebook. Jake over in the chat, we kind of went back and forth. And then after that was when USL kind of did the union busting email. And I was like, damn it, USL, you had me. Like I was like, yeah, this is good. Let's roll with it. And then you did that shit. And now I'm like, sneaky bastards. Yeah. And so now I'm like, I don't know. I don't care. At this point, both of you figure it out. Let's play soccer. At least this season. Because a lot of what I've seen the players put out has been like long-term stuff, which I get is a problem. But for the here and now, like figure out this year's CBA, fix it, get the minimum up, get whatever you need for this year, and then we'll talk about the rest. Even if it's just like, hey, let's play this year on last year's CBA, even though that's not ideal, and we'll continue negotiating. and you'll try to. The league needs to figure out their shit, because I'm one that thinks the teams should be boycotting the league more so than the players at this time, because the teams are kind of getting screwed in my opinion too. But that's neither here nor there. We might eventually do a deep dive on this. Maybe once it's over, we can really look into some details that once we get the details and kind of see. But as it stands right now, none of us know anything. Just what both sides are putting out, which I've always said in law enforcement, we're taught, there's three sides to every story. There's your side, my side, and the truth. And so there's the player side, there's the league side, and then there's what's really going on. And we won't know that until maybe a deal gets done. So we move on. Talking about last week.
Well, speaking last week and the CBA, do you think the protests were enough? We kind of had a little bit of a discussion in our group chat, and you mentioned the players stood for a minute, didn't do anything in every single match over the weekend, and I don't feel it was enough. Players did the same thing for the racism issues, for the homophobia issues, for the bigotry, for all of that. They did the same thing. And realistically,
I mean, to be fair, those are all worse things than
the
CBA.
I agree. But if you're trying to put eyes on the issue, if you're trying to make a point, and I know USLPA put out several things over the weekend saying that, hey, they stood for a minute, showing they can stop play at any time. Okay, great. Why not just sit down for 45 minutes? Right? That to me, you have 22 players just sitting for 45 minutes, not doing a dang thing.
So you have to think about it this way too, Seth. There were 10,000 fans at multiple games.
Mm-hmm.
There were over 8,000 fans at even more games. Those all paid a ticket to watch soccer. Most of those probably don't know what's going on. So if you alienate those people by not playing for 45 minutes when they paid for a full match, you're not going to gain support by doing that.
Mm-hmm.
I think that 1 minute was probably a little too short, but what I heard from, I read some stuff from the Players Association and from just players around the league, and they said, they kind of figured that the league would cut away on TV and not really address it, and that's fine. But, there were probably at least 70,000 people, 60,000 people that attended a USL game this week. And my guess is half of them maybe knew what was going on. So, I mean, that's I think a generous estimate is half. So even if it's half, right, which I think is a little high, that means 30,000 people were at these matches, saw what happened, and then asked somebody else what's going on. And then, Justin says 90% or more of our fans have no idea. I would agree with that. And so, but even if it's 50%, that means 30,000 people of that 60,000 number that I made up all of a sudden know what's going on and can research it and figure out. And every single match I saw, there were signs that said, support the players, pro standards, stuff like that. And so it still rose awareness in a way that I don't think alienated any of the fans. I think you could probably go 5 minutes and still pick up fans and maybe force the league to like, hey, are you just going to show fans for 5 minutes? Or are you going to address it on these broadcasts?
Right.
But I do it. To me, it was enough, because if you start doing more than that, like protesting a whole match after fans have come in, then you're kind of in trouble. And I feel for a lot of these teams, because a lot of these teams are on the side of the players, like United, right? They seem to be on the side of the players. I'm sure there's a few things in the CBA that they might not agree with, but for all intents and purposes, United has been a very player-friendly organization. They don't pay the highest, but they're paying more than that minimum anyways, as far as I know, for most of their players. And so if you protest during a match, then you put United in a situation where they're like, okay, well now, like if you sit out half the match, what do? We're going to have 10,000 angry fans, and do we refund them at all? Like they're going to be coming to us. And so some of these teams are kind of in the middle where they're like, hey, we're like not the ones holding this up, and a strike or anything like that is going to kill us.
Yeah.
Like a strike will do damage to United.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And yeah, obviously, 45 minutes is an exaggeration. I wouldn't expect that, but
Right.
1 minute doesn't feel like it's enough.
I think it's still rose awareness, and made a point to the league to an extent.
Yeah,
I think any protest is going to make a point to the league, and so I don't know.
To Bolte's point here, if technically the ball's in play, it's not a stoppage. Ball's in play, so they wouldn't add time on.
That's true, and
it's like when we had the Brucey ceremony.
And that's a good question, Justin. I don't know how many of these front offices are actually trying, but my guess is more than United.
Yeah, and I was chatting with someone from the club the other day. I said, United has been ahead of the curve when it comes to these issues. United has always offered housing and decent salary, and they've always offered decent housing, medical benefit. They've had physicians and other benefits to the players. They've offered health insurance from day one. They've offered the same health insurance as they did all of their employees from day one.
We have heard, though, they have handled injuries questionable at times. Now, I don't think that's a benefits type thing. I think that's more like a personality type thing, but I could be wrong there. Mm-hmm. And so we're not perfect. I'm not saying the club is perfect by any means. There are still definitely things that the club can improve on, just like the league as a whole can improve on a lot. But we have been at the front of the pack as far as USL clubs since day one, it seems like. Yeah. And I think you see that because there are plenty of people that have taken less money to come play here. Mm-hmm. Kalen Ryden is a fantastic example of that. He is the best center back on a championship team, and he chooses the very next year to come here instead of somewhere else that probably would have paid him a pretty penny and probably a little bit more than us. And so...
Yeah, and the club's even come out and said that they're not the highest paying.
Yeah,
we know that. We know that the club has been the bottom third of the league and payroll, and we continue to spend more and more. We continue to spend more year on year. So, players come here not necessarily for the salary, right? We do know that we have some players that make a significant amount. Now, again, we don't know salary numbers because those are kept private. Mm-hmm. There's no rule from the league saying that, hey, you have to, publish player salaries. I think if there was a mandate to publish player salaries, you would see more public push for higher salary as well. Mm-hmm. But yeah, players come here because they want to play here. They see what the club has done from its inception, and they want to be here. So, yeah, it's. Do you feel like it's a missed opportunity? Or do you think it hurts the Players Association by not striking prior to week one, or do you think it's to their benefit to wait until now or later?
I think they don't want to. I think they're trying their best to negotiate. They don't want to just, for lack of a better term, bend over either. But I feel like it was like a one more ditch effort to see if they could get the league to cooperate and take them seriously.
Mm-hmm. And at this point, I fully believe that if a deal's not done, maybe not this week, but if a deal is not done at some point in the first month of the season, then we will see a strike. I don't think they're bluffing with that. But it's just I understand that there are differences as far as what each team is willing, or each side is willing to concede. But you have the World Cup in less than 3 months, or less than 4 months, whatever it is.
Under 100 days now.
Yeah. You have the World Cup. You've announced ProRel. You have a good product. It is a good soccer product. We'll get to some of the games coming up here in a minute that I don't know if you guys watched any or not, full ones, but like I watched a little bit of a lot of games, and there was some good soccer being played. And so to lose that momentum right now is probably the worst thing that could happen, and could kill the league, in my opinion. And so somebody's got to give both sides got to give a little bit, I think, so we can meet in the middle and actually have a season during the World Cup, because the World Cup will be going on, but there won't be any MLS. There won't be any European leagues because they're all out that time of year anyways. Mm-hmm. Like the USL has a chance to be one of the very, very, very few leagues going during the World Cup so that people can be like, oh yeah, what's this about? And then get over there. And so I don't know. So yeah, I don't know. Josh, we will, I will dig in, and we will have a CBA specific pod at some point. Probably not till after it gets done, just because, like I said, we don't know exactly what's going on right now. As exactly what each side is asking for. We know what they're putting out, but is that really what's getting on? We probably could. He's been on several other pods, Josh, or just Jake, Connor Tobin. He was on with Cole and Chris. Yes, Cole is on a podcast. Cole and Chris are doing a podcast. It's a podcast. And so they had Connor Tobin on. Shadow Wolf had Connor Tobin on. Several people have. That is one side, and that's what I will say. If I could get him and somebody from the league a week apart, I would do that. But I don't think I'm going to put out just their side, because I don't think that that
wouldn't be unbiased reporting.
Yeah, I don't like just putting out the one side, even though I'm more on their side than the league side. I would like to see both sides, and we won't see that until after the CBA comes out. And so I might have him on after the CBA comes out and talk about the process and what was given and taken, because he might be more open. Everybody might be more open at that time, but we'll see. We have a lot. We've got a special guest coming next week that Christina doesn't even know about, that I will announce later. And then, of course, we've got soccer hopefully being played. If there's a stoppage, we will dive in for sure, because we won't have games to talk about and stuff like that. But other than that, I don't have any other thoughts on the CBA. I think it's kind of the same situation we were in last week, except for we had a protest and matches this week. So, Seth, did you get to watch any matches this week?
Yeah, I watched just a little bit of soccer this weekend, between Premier League and Bundesliga and La Liga and MLS and, USL Championship. There was only a little bit of soccer.
I'm surprised you watched MLS this week. Figured you would have given up by now.
Absolutely not. And Tata, I trust. So,
okay.
Yeah.
I trust Tata. I don't know if I trust the roster, but okay.
In Tata, I trust. But yeah, no, quite a few matches over the weekend. Starting things off, opening match of the 2026 USL Championship season. Lexington taking on Lou City. Lou City comes from behind to win that one 2-1. Charleston Battery went 2-1 over Riverhounds. Sporting Jacks shut out in their inaugural match 3-0 by Hartford Athletic. San Antonio picks up a 2-1 win over Phoenix Diving. Birmingham Legion loses at home to Tampa Bay Rowdies. El Paso and Colorado Springs Switchbacks battle to a 2-2 draw. Monterey Bay falls to Oakland, which, surprise, surprise. Orange County and Las Vegas Lights had a 1-1 draw over the weekend. Sacramento defeated FC Tulsa 2-0, and then Brooklyn FC rounded out the weekend with a win in their inaugural match, 1-0 over Indy 11. So a lot of firsts there for Brooklyn FC. Some interesting matches over the weekend. Looking at the results and watching a little bit of everything that came about this weekend, Colorado not as great defensively as I thought they might be. Obviously Phoenix Diving is going to do Phoenix Diving things. And then Lexington looked good. They look good, but Lou City is going to Lou City and muck picked up his God.
I believe it would be Mook. I believe is how you would pronounce it because
But
Mukwele.
Even then,
No,
come on,
wrong.
come on, Lou City.
For those of you not in the know, Mukwele Akale scored for Lou City, and then they put Mook. Did it M-U-K apostrophe something?
Not even apostrophe, just M-U-K.
I thought there was an apostrophe on it. But anyways,
no.
Interesting nickname for sure.
Yeah, I responded to that with a quote tweet with a picture of Muck the Pokemon.
Yeah, and that's good. That's good.
Like, good Lord, like, come on, like, why not just get Quelle is his nickname?
I thought the same thing as Desert Fryer.
Yeah.
I ask this
Mike.
every time. Is this Mike? Okay.
Mike.
I thought, oh, now he puts it in the back of the net.
I when I saw that goal, I was furious. I was like, "Are you freaking kidding me? You dribbled against 5 people. For us, you'd have turned the damn thing over, and you throw a Hail Mary essentially towards the near post, and somehow it goes in. For us, none of that. Never, ever any of that. You wouldn't have even got the shot off. It'd have been blocked or it'd have been taken from you before you even got the damn shot off. I was not happy. I I love Akale. I do. I love him.
He was nominated for goal of the week, by the way.
Yeah, for that, I don't understand. And
it's a vote for Mook. Like, come on.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
It was already annoying that he went to Lou City. It's beyond annoying now. So, anyways, that was a good match though. Like you said, Lexington looked good. Yeah, Mook.
I'm salty.
Yeah, I don't know.
I know he's a really nice guy, but no.
I don't know. But that was a good game. You mentioned Colorado Springs. Mm-hmm. So we had Big Brother and El Trasho playing, or Little Brother and El Trasho playing. A lot of interest in that match, obviously. Talon Maples and Armando Moreno, 2 former United players playing in that match. And I tell you what, I wasn't impressed with either team. Rubio Rubin, who Andrew said will be annoying over in the chat. Yes, that is the one name that I did not like to see go to either of those 2 teams other than Maples. But I tell you what, the bad body language continued for Talon Maples. I thought it was a New Mexico United thing last year because I didn't see it the year before, but he was not happy either. On both of El Paso's goals, he throws his hands up in the air, kind of sulks around. He did not look particularly good. Colorado Springs as a whole really didn't look particularly good.
That second goal against Colorado, it's like they were all just standing around watching.
Yeah, you see, if you watch it, you can see Maples actually like retreat towards the goal, which I guess I kind of understand. Like he's hoping that he goes to that corner and the keeper kind of shades the other way, so they kind of have more of it covered. But he was one of the closest defenders to Rubio at the time, and instead of trying to close him out, he backs up, and Rubin finds the back of the net pretty easily. So I don't know, just a weird match there. I wasn't impressed with either team. And then for some reason, I put it in the chat. We're over an hour in, and I'm finally gonna mention power rankings. But the USL puts the power rankings out.
Stupid. Just stupid.
And El Paso moves up 2 spots while Colorado drops 4 spots, even though Colorado drew against El Paso in El Paso. So how does that make any sense?
San Antonio beat Phoenix, but they're below El Paso, who drew.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard when you're like, okay, well, like this team, Hartford. I saw a lot of Hartford fans were upset because they beat Sporting Jacks 3-0, and moved up to like 9th, and they were like, "How are we ahead of Louisville? Louisville only won 1-2," and it's like, yeah, but Louisville played probably the best team in the league, other than them, and you beat a brand new team that is probably going to be pretty bad. And so it was just like, what? You're not going to please anybody. But in the case of Colorado Springs and El Paso, they played each other, and they played in El Paso. And El Paso moves up 2 spots for drawing at home against a team that they were ranked right next to. And I don't know. It was weird. I did watch quite a bit of that match. I watched a little bit of San Antonio and Phoenix. I'm going to tell you right now, Tulsa might be in trouble.
I don't think so.
I think Tulsa might be in trouble. And you know why Tulsa might be in trouble?
Why is that?
Because Alex Tambakis looked like a statue out there. It was not pretty.
It didn't. He didn't.
And that hurts me to say, but he was. It was a questionable outing for Tambakis, and I think the fact that Calhera left really showed up. They really missed his presence. Like, I don't know. I'm Tulsa. I don't think they're in trouble like missing the playoffs, but I think they're going to be fighting for hosting a playoff game, and probably and I would say right now losing out on that fight. I'm not sure right now they host a playoff game.
Yeah, Alex did not look great. I know I said it last week. I feel like he was a downgrade from Miranda.
You did.
And look, as great as he has been for us, obviously last year was not great. Now there were other things going on, right? Differences between him and the coaching staff, issues with the back line, other players having issues allegedly, but it clearly wasn't a great season. Clearly something was not right for him to want to leave. That short of the record here. But yeah, Tulsa didn't have a great appearance. I would expect them to get better. But yeah, it's not great.
Like I had Tulsa above Sacramento in our preseason preview that we did, or in our season preview that we did last week. And I think that's the one thing that I'm like, nope, I was wrong. I just think I was wrong. And I don't like Sacramento at all, but I told you guys last week that I thought I was higher on them than I was. I think they were going to be better than they were last year with it's kind of the same philosophy that we had, new coach last year. So this year they have a full off season with him, a full season last year with him. And so everything's kind of maybe back to being normal, or looking maybe normal for that, what you expected there. And so I don't know. I'm just, I don't know if Sacramento is just that much better than I think a lot of people had them, or if Tulsa fell off. And watching that match, that's one of the matches that I watched pretty much all of. I don't know. I think it might be the latter.
Do you think a Riverhounds loss to Loudon was worth a 7-spot drop in the power rankings?
Not Loudon, it was Charleston.
Right. Yeah, Charleston. Yeah.
And so no, definitely not, because I think Charleston's going to be a good team.
Mm-hmm.
I got off my soapbox of the power ranking.
Yeah. I tell you what, here's my power rankings, right? New Mexico United, San Antonio. Then you got like 30 spots. And then there's El Paso.
You're such a kiss ass to Harry, and he still isn't Team Seth.
There's your talking point, USL show. There's your talking point, everyone else, right? I've got us at 1, 2, and 3, San Antonio, and then El Paso at like 32. So there you go.
El Paso at 32.
Yeah, El Paso at 32. But no, like it's, and we talked about it, power rankings are all bullshit. Power rankings are bullshit. They really are. It's like having a preseason top 25, a preseason, in any sport, right? We have preseason power rankings based off of people playing college teams and MLS 2 teams. And MLS
the preseason power rankings are not based off of the preseason results. They're based off of what you did this offseason and if you got better. It is their version of us doing our preseason or our preseason or our season preview, right? And I don't do it like on paper. I did once last year, but like I kind of had an idea of who I thought was going to be really good week 1. And so I power ranked the teams in my head going into the regular season based off of what they did in the preseason or in the off season. But I don't know. If you're going to have that, and then you're going to flip flop that much. I just don't understand. But we did have, a handful of games, including Oakland, right? The team that we play next week did play a match. Kind of. They played Monterey Bay, so I don't really know if that counts as a match. But they did play a match. They did win 1-0 off an 85th minute Mark Fisher goal, which was one of those goals, like probably a pretty low XG on that goal. But he found the back of the net, so it works. Chicken and waffles way too low. Way too low on chicken and waffles. And so they did play. They find the back of the net one time. They beat Monterey Bay. So they will be coming in, having won, riding some momentum.
Bless you.
Thank you.
Did you watch the game?
That is one that I caught some of. I did watch the end of it. The goal was fluky, in my opinion. And honestly, against Monterey Bay, like when you consider that it was against Monterey Bay, like I would have expected them to look better. So I don't know if Monterey Bay is maybe better than I'm thinking, but I don't know. To me, there was a lot of hype for them going into this season with Ryan Martin coming over, and they have the Golden Boot winner. Have some returning players, but also bringing in some good talent. And at the end of the day, I was just kind of like, meh. I mean, Trejo didn't even start. He came in off the bench. Valor isn't out there right now. I don't know where he is. So it's not necessarily the full team that we thought it would be, but I was just not impressed. Not to say that we're going to go in there and trounce all over them, because I honestly don't know what we're going to look like. I have no idea. This is the first year, I think in like 5 years that I have not, since COVID probably, that I have not watched a preseason match. And so I honestly have no idea what it's going to look like.
I think part of that too is I don't know if we've necessarily seen our first team.
That is 100% true. Yes, that is 100%
right.
true.
Yeah.
And even in preseason, if you see what resembles what might be the first team, right? We played 2 colleges over the weekend.
Yeah.
Now, and we also saw former United Academy players in there as well for UNLV. But yeah, I mean, we're not playing first team against first team. You're playing colleges. You're playing next pro teams. You're playing, talent academies, right? So it's not a great, again, preseason is preseason. It's not a great judge, and we haven't seen 80, 75 plus with a full first team.
Right. I have just very simple rudimentary stats for you from preseason. Against USL Championship opponents, we were outscored 10-2. Against non-USL Championship opponents, we outscored them. Sorry, 10-1. My bad. 10-1. Against non-USL Championship opponents, we outscored them 14-1. And so we know nothing. There's nothing to glean from that. And so we really just have no clue right now. So I don't even know how to predict this game. Like, obviously I'm going to predict a win because I'm not a chicken shit. But
I'm a chicken shit then, because I'm not predicting a win.
Oh, I just no, not 5. I'm not gonna go 5. 4 maybe, but not 5. But I don't know what to expect. I'm happy that Keller made an appearance. I think that means he's probably gonna start for us, which is good. If it's a Keller, Seymour. Oh, okay, 2. Sorry. It was 10-2. I was right and then I was wrong. Damn it, Andrew. Andrew is our producer. He's our fact checker. He corrects us. He corrects me when I'm wrong, anyways, because you guys are never wrong. And so, yeah, I don't know. It's going to be interesting. But
I feel like I'm bracing myself for it being a rough start to the season.
If preseason
it's going to be a slow start.
If preseason is an indicator, you are probably right.
Yep.
I'm taking preseason with a grain of salt just because we have not had Keller. We have not had Zalalem. We've had Jabang and Seymour kind of playing not where we would normally see them playing. And so I'm not quite as concerned. And I know that's more of the defensive side of the ball, and the offense has struggled, and the offensive players have been there. But I do think that when you don't have your top tier defenders, it affects.
We like to play from the back too.
Yeah. And so I don't know. Justin has said that he thinks that we're going to play way more direct and way more forward this year, which could be good. And that could be the reason why we gave up so many goals in the preseason. If we're trying a new tactic where we're not as defensive, goals are the last thing that come when you're working on starting a season out. So maybe that was part of the problem. I don't know. We'll have to see. But
hopefully we'll see come Saturday night.
I feel optimistic that it will be a competitive game. At least I don't think Oakland, like if we were starting out against like Lexington or Tampa or even honestly Sacramento or Tulsa right now, I might be a little more concerned. But also Oakland, I think we can at least compete with them.
Well, I'm predicting a 1-1 draw. I might be jumping ahead here a little bit, but I just don't see a clean sheet, and I don't see high scoring. But I don't have it in my heart to guess that we're going to lose either. Good. So that's why I'm thinking chicken shit, and I'm picking 1-1.
Cowards way out. Draw. A draw. No, just kidding.
Something about Sebastian Get is not confirmed.
No, it is. He's going. He is signed with Monterey Bay.
I haven't seen it confirmed by any reputable outlet. Let me put it that way.
I'm pretty sure Tom Bogert put it out.
Has he? Because I saw it reported by one of the PHNX people. So
I'll find out.
Yeah. I don't know. Even if they get him, I don't know.
Yeah, Joseph Lowry and Tom Bogert both signed with Monterey Bay in the USL Championship. And so he will be there, and then the deal would put him as part of the ownership group as well.
Yeah.
I don't know if that is like you don't care or you don't believe.
Okay, so in advanced talks, it's not confirmed. In advanced talks. So
that was what Tom put out. Joseph said he is signed.
Yeah. So again, it's PHNX, the guy who works with
No. Joseph Lowry is not with them. Joseph Lowry is on Backfield. He's on Total Soccer Show, on The Athletic. He's legit.
Okay. Well,
he is the Phoenix announcer. One of their play-by-play guys.
Yeah, he's Phoenix.
But he's legit. And I listen to Joseph Lowry 4 days a week on the Total Soccer Show, and so he's legit.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, like you, I don't care about preseason. We haven't seen, like I said, haven't seen a full first team. We've had a bunch of injuries. Obviously this week is not going to define the entire season.
Right.
Yeah, PHNX in general. Yeah. Yeah, no, it's I expect to, and again, with injuries, maybe Keller gets 65, 70 minutes. Maybe he doesn't get the full 90, but yeah,
I bet he does. He's a workhorse, man. If he's healthy, he's probably going.
Yeah, as long as he's healthy enough, we'll see him. Yeah, I don't have faith in Oakland. I say we go on the road 3-0.
The
Dang.
robot. Yep. The robot with some crazy numbers. I'm gonna start the season off strong with a boring 2-1 pick. I just don't know. This is a very, very strange situation. We talked about Oakland last week. I'm not gonna go into that. I am getting there, Mike. I am getting there. Who? We'll go position by position. Goalkeeper. Who starts, Christina? No, wait. We'll finish with goalkeeper. We'll finish with goalkeeper because that's probably the question mark.
Okay.
The 3 forward spots.
Hursty.
Okay.
I need like their names in front of me. The 3 named guy.
Devon gets
Steven,
signed on Friday.
Niall, Reed, Steven.
There you go, him.
And then
I don't know about
options on the left would be Harris, Renix, maybe LaCava, maybe Vargas, maybe Noel. We haven't seen him over there in the preseason yet, though.
I think Harris.
I think I would have the same 3.
Yeah.
I feel really good about Niall. I feel pretty good about Hurst and pretty good about Harris.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that's kind of been the 3 that I've seen the most common and have been the most productive, in my opinion, during the preseason and the attack. So
Yeah.
I do think you're right there. Seth, do you have a different 3 or anybody different there, or those ones?
I think Hursty gets to start. He'll probably get 65. You see Renix come on. I think Reed Steven off the right. I don't know. I want to say Dayon off the left, but I could see Val in there.
I think we see Val in the middle just because that's where he's been all preseason. You know what? I'm going to throw a kind of a curveball possibility. I think Niall is for sure going to be on the right, but then what if Hurst is actually on the left and we see Luther up top after scoring a brace? Hurst played on the left several times last year. He never started really out there on the left, but we saw him after some subs and stuff like that. We saw him kind of shift out there to the left, and so maybe Renix comes on for Hurst and shifts out to the left, and then Luther comes on for Harris or whatever, and we kind of see that. I think Luther will get some run, especially after scoring a brace, a relatively pretty brace. Yes, I mean a real striker, Desert, an old school striker, as you would, and so possibly see him up there. But I do think Hurst gets the start. So who's in the 10? We've seen Vargas in the 10. We've seen Nava in the 10. We saw Noel in the 10 last year a lot. There are several people that could play that distributor there in the middle, right behind those front 3. Is it going to be Nava? Is it going to be Noel? Who do we think it is, Christina?
I think it's Noel.
Seth?
Yeah, I don't see Christian starting over Noel. Like maybe Vargas, but I think Noel's the one.
It could be somebody else if Noel is starting farther back, like we have seen so much in preseason. Because we have seen him, at least via the list, be part of that double pivot that bombs forward and arrives a little bit later in the attack. And I don't know. That's what we've seen every preseason match that Noel has been in. He's been listed in that spot. And so I kind of wonder if it's not Nava or Vargas or Renix in that position instead. But so I'm actually going to have Noel farther back just because I don't think we're fully healthy in the back yet. And so I think I'll have him a little bit farther back. And no, you know what? Never mind. Noel will be the 10. So I think that since Zalalem came back in the preseason, if he's good to go, then I think that double pivot is going to be Zalalem and Zico.
Yeah.
And so, but there's a possibility that we see somebody like Renix or Nava up higher, and then Noel and Zico farther back if Zalalem isn't quite ready to start.
I'd be surprised to see Zalalem start since he was out for the bulk of the preseason.
I would too, but at least he's a returning player, so he has some kind of already knows what's going on. He's not coming in fresh and brand new. And so, yeah, I think if Zalem starts, I have it that way. If Zalem doesn't start, then I will. I'll have Noel and Zico as that pivot, and then I'll say Renix up there, like almost like a dual striker role with Hurst, because they can both kind of move up and down.
If Zalalem is not healthy, I think you see Zico and if Oos is healthy, Zico and Oos, they're in the mid. But if Zalalem's healthy, it's got to be Zico Zalalem.
Maybe
probably the only midfield in the league with 2 Z names.
Yeah. Maybe we should have started in the. That is interesting. Although Zico is a first name, not a last name, so kind of ruins that a little bit. Seth, sorry to pop your bubble.
Nope.
Maybe we should have started in the back, because that's where all the question marks are. Because to me, Usman is easily in the midfield for me, except for the fact that I think he's going to start at right back.
He's not listed as a midfielder.
Because I think we'll see him in that double pivot throughout the year plenty. But as of right now, with Howell possibly injured, definitely injured last week, but maybe being able to come back, maybe not. And then the redacted center back not being signed, I think Seymour has to start in central defense at center back with Keller, which means who's going to play right back? Everything we've seen this offseason says Usman is going to get a chance out there. And so that's where I've got Gloucester, Keller, Seymour, Jabang. And I don't know if, unless health isn't an issue, or unless they announce the center back that was in the preseason this last match, unless they announce him before the season or before Saturday, I think you got to go Seymour and Keller. And even if that, I think you go Seymour and Keller, because that center back, Tyler Blackett was not. He's fairly new to the team because he had not been seen at any of the other preseason matches. So at most, he played against El Paso and then these 2 college teams. And
we're thinking Malik is injured.
That is what I'm going off of, just because he wasn't in the preseason at all this weekend, and he was scratched late from El Paso. From El Paso.
I'm bummed because he's my guy to watch for sure.
Yeah, I can't wait for him to be in there. But and then, do you agree with that backline, Seth, or do you think Howell or the redacted center back make an appearance?
Depending on health, I think it's Keller and Seymour in the middle, and then Gloucester on the left. And I don't know who I'd put on the right, honestly.
I mean, that's definitely the one hole that we have.
Yeah.
It could be maybe Hoffman. I don't know if he's.
I think Hoffman was more of a natural center back. Though.
He is for sure, but so was Talon Maples, and he played out there. It could be Nico. Maybe they switch Nico and put him out there. Maybe they put him at left, and Gloucester's going to do right, even though it's something we haven't seen. But as far as I can tell, Usman's going to be the right back, and so Andrew, I think Malik's hurt, don't you? He missed the last 2 preseason matches, was scratched.
If he's healthy, I think it's Keller and Howell as your center backs with Will on the right.
Yeah. If he's healthy, that's for sure what I think too. And then that would change my midfield as well.
Because I think you have Us at the 8.
Yeah. And so I don't know. It is. We will see, but I'm almost positive it's going to be a 4-2-3-1 or 4-2-1-3. Sorry. And that will be fluid, right? It's always fluid. In possession, it's more of a 3 at the back because one of our fullbacks get up pitch pretty frequently. And so in possession, it's almost more like a 3-1-3-3. And then out of possession, it's that 4-2 or 4-2-1-3. Or 4-2-1-3 or 4-2-3-1, depending on how you want to look at it. And so it's interesting. We will. That is probably what I'm most excited about for Saturday is seeing one who's healthy, because we'll kind of know more or less who's going to be there. I do think we'll find out like what the plan is at right back, especially if everybody's healthy. Is it Seymour and Jabang or what is it? We have at the front, we have 7 starting caliber players. Because between I won't say Luther is a starting player. I think he's a fantastic super sub. But other than that,
I don't see LaCava starting, but I think he's going to be a really good sub.
He could. He's like a starting caliber player though. He could start. LaCava could start. Niall could start. Harris can start. Nava can start. Vargas can start. Noel can start. Renix can start.
LaCava's speed and his energy reminds me of Brucey.
Yeah. I love LaCava. Look, I almost got LaCava on my kit. That was a name that was quietly in the back of my head. And so the away kit, maybe LaCava happens there. I don't know. We'll have to see. But I don't know. It's going to be interesting. So we got 3-0. Seth says we win. Christina is a chicken shit and says 1-1.
Chicken shit, Christina.
And I'm kind of a chicken shit because 2-1 is a very popular scoreline. So I'm not going out on a limb too much there. I'm just predicting a win for United. And so that's kind of what we have. We talked about Oakland more last week. Go back and listen to that one. We talked about everybody a lot there. And so we're not going to go fully into them. But we're excited, praying that we get a CBA done, or at least they don't strike this week, so we can at least watch our team once before a strike happens. And then
there was a question earlier about Open Cup, Cup is next week.
Open Cup next week as well.
I reached out to one of my contacts at thecup.us. I said, hey, what's the general thought process on what happens if USLC does strike?
We forfeit. We got to forfeit.
And I mean, that there's no precedent for this whatsoever. And they just said everything's just being played by ear at this point between USOC, USSF. Everyone's just playing it by ear. If USLC strikes, chances are championship will have to forfeit.
I think that's
one of those matches.
That's the only route. You can't. That schedule is too compact right now. I mean, there's
too many moving pieces.
Yeah, there's a big break there, but you can't take these lower teams and be like, hey, we're not going to travel this week. Actually, you're going to reschedule it for a month down the road. You can't do that. And so, that'd be fun.
Using an academy roster would be wild.
That would be fun. Let's do that.
But then you have USLPA going, hey, right? Would that be seen as scabs by PA?
Does it matter? Like the regular season. Player? The regular season, I don't think happens, but for Open Cup, why not? Why not run an academy team out there?
Yeah,
I don't know. Fingers crossed we don't get to that point. If we hear any news on a strike or anything like that, we will put it out on our social, of course. And so we'll pray that doesn't happen. If it doesn't happen, we get to watch United 8:00 on Saturday. There is a watch party that the team put out. It's also the kit reveal, or kit, maybe not. I don't know if it's a reveal or not. Let me look that up because I feel like I might have seen the word reveal.
I think it said reveal too. Kit reveal. Yeah,
which means we don't get to see it. Oh, launch. It's the launch party. Okay. So, watch party at Rio Bravo Brewing. Collab beer release, live kit customizations and giveaways, and it is your 2026 away kit launch party. Doors open at 7. Kickoff is, of course, at 8:00. So as long as there is a game, a match, go check that out. It's the only watch party that I've seen because Bosky Brewing's gone, and so I know Black Diamonds is doing theirs. I don't remember if theirs is at Nexus this week or Tin Can. I have not seen either way. But so there are a few watch parties out there, and then you can always just watch from home it is on ESPN Plus this weekend, and so it is not on CBS or anything like that. So if you have an ESPN Plus subscription, which I think most of the big fans do, it will be available. So
that's the other thing too. Broadcast schedule came out.
It did.
In case anyone missed it. We have one game.
Two. Yeah, two.
Two games. Two on CBS, one on CBS Sports Network, and the other in November on CBS proper. So,
November 21st. And our name's not listed there, but trust me, we will be there.
It'll be there. Yeah.
We will be there.
Okay, I'll accept that one.
Honestly, I think most people are probably okay with this because then you just have to have ESPN Plus. And you miss one match. And so that means in Mexico United Nation, I only have to deal with, where's the game? I can't find the game. Oh my gosh, I need another subscription, Seth. And so,
how do you get a VPN?
Yeah, and so you only have to do that once throughout the regular season, and so that'll be nice. We'll see. I think that works out for us. There are a ton of Golazo games. There's one pretty much every week, or a Golazo or a Sportsnet game pretty much every week. There's a couple CBS games mixed in there during the regular season. And so I think the one is against Monterey Bay that's on CBS Sportsnet. And so I'll make sure we put that out when the time is right. But as for right now, ESPN Plus is your way to watch New Mexico United for the majority of this season, including Saturday, 8:00. We will be back Tuesday. But before that, Seth, Christina, you got any final thoughts for us?
Nope.
Oh, no, I do.
Yay.
The Top Soccer starts this Sunday, and they needed
buddies.
I think they needed 15 more buddies.
Oof.
That's how many kids registered.
Nice. That's awesome.
Which is great. So if anybody's on the fence, just, I encourage you, come hang out.
Yeah, for sure. If you're in the Albuquerque area, go do that. I have not been, but I desperately would love to. I wanted to do it last year, but because of where I live, it didn't work out. But awesome cause, awesome situation. Please go be a buddy if you can. Excuse me. Those kids. It's an awesome experience for those kids. You can see it in the faces you can see it in their faces on the videos and stuff that the club puts out. It is a moment they won't forget for the foreseeable future. So yes, thank you, Christina. I'm glad you remember that. I counted on you to remember that for sure. And so thank you there. We will be back next week. As I mentioned earlier, we do have a special guest coming on next week. The one and only Devin Sandoval will be joining us to talk about what he's got going on, break down the first United match with us, and we'll try to talk to him about the CBA. If there's no United match, even if there is a United match, but a CBA isn't in place, we will probably ask him about that and kind of pick his brain for that kind of stuff. So yeah, Devin Sandoval will be joining us live next week at 8:00. So we'll talk with him. We'll break down the matches. We will just have a good old time. We've had a ton of former players on the pod recently, and they are a blast, man. Those podcasts are some of my favorites. So please go check those out, and be sure to tune in next week when we have Devin Sandoval on. So until next week, guys, love y'all. Somos Leos.